Hi folks, this is a short video segment on a question that was raised by a viewer. A couple of weeks ago, I posted a video on the use of a spiral curve in the Catia V5, and the question that was raised by the viewer, by the way, the link to that video is over here. The question that was raised was, is there a way that you can do animation of this so that the center point is fixed and this other point is moving? And my reaction was that, well, wait a minute, if you want an endpoint to move, it must be under some force. So as soon as you say that, we are talking about the dynamic analysis. And Catia V5 DMU kinematics does not do dynamic, only does kinematics. And my comment was that, okay, but this can be done in the motion design application that's buried inside of 3D Experience. And the request was to do it there, but I decided instead to go back to Catia V5, and if the intention is just to animate it so that you see the motion of this, irrespective of where it's coming from, then it is possible to do it, but you're going to have to do an FEA analysis and then show the animation. Okay? So this is what I'm going to do. And another one, what I'm going to create is a video clip like this, and I suspect it is what the viewer Mohammed is asking for. If that's all you want, then you can do it in Catia V5 as long as you have the, the license to do FEA. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go to Catia. We start the part file. And because I need to, that spiral curve is in generative shape design, so I'm going to switch to generative shape design, or the step down version of it, which is a different kind of a module in Catia V5. But anyway, I went to generative shape design and notice that here on the wireframe, you see a bunch of things you can do, and one of them is that spiral curve. So you click on it, it says, okay, what is the support? I want this spiral to lie in the XY plane. What is the center point? Now, I don't have a point specified here, but I can always make it. Right click, create a point, 0, 0, 0. And then it says, what is the reference direction? I'll make the reference direction to be X. Like that, you see that? This is the initial radius, which is 0, but I want the initial radius to be, let's see, I'll use the 20. And the end radius to be 100. And I want 2 revolutions, so I'll make it like, yeah, 2 revolutions. So this is what I get. All right, good. Now I'm going to create a plane here and draw another circle, which I will rivet in order to get a solid object later on. So for a plane, normal to a curve, there's the curve, and this is the point that I want. So I'll draw the circle right there. On that plane, I will sketch. Let me draw a circle of radius. I want the radius of that thing to be 4. Radius of that rib, I think this is good. Make this radius 4. Okay, exit. Now I want to rib this thing along that spiral, but the rib cannot be found in generative shape design. So what I'm going to do is I will go to part design, and the rib is right there where you see the path and all that stuff. Rib. I want to rib that profile along that spiral and say okay. So there is my 3D object, which is going to kind of represent that, I suppose, spring that he is looking for. I have to put some material on it, dummy material. I'll put steel on it, This is really dummy because you can't do FEA without material. Steel on that part. Good. Now we're ready to go and perform a FEA analysis. First, we're going to go to generative structure analysis or analysis and simulation, generative structure analysis. It's a static analysis that we're going to do. You want to change the rendering here, like that. All right, automatically meshes it with tetrahedral element, not that, yeah, tetrahedral element, double click on it. I'm going to make it linear and the size, I'm going to make it 2 millimeters. But linear because we don't want to sit here and wait for this thing to finish. You can look at your mesh, right click mesh visualization, and all we want is a dummy animation basically. There we are, you can see that. Okay, very good. Now deactivate the mesh. That end I'm going to clamp, fix. So the clamp is right there. Fix that end. You can see that there's a clamp sign. And on that end, I'm going to apply a pressure of 2 MPa. These numbers mean nothing. We just want a dummy simulation, basically. So put down 2 MPa. That's pretty much it. So we can run it. It's going to be quick. Oh, you know what? I don't know what I put. Oh, you know what? I didn't put a clamp here. Sorry. I put a surface slider. Delete that. Bugger. The icons look the same, very close. So here, this is what I want. Clamp. Clamp. Right there. Clamp. Now we're going to put a surface slider. I can slide there. Obviously, it's not fixed. That's why it says factorization error. So we're finished. Now we can look at deformation. There's a deformation, and then you can animate it. And if you wanted to go change the scale, you can go to here, amplification magnitude. See that? Right where the animation is, right next to second to the right. Let's make a 2. Let's see how it looks like. Yeah, make it actually more. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, make it 3. There. And then we animate. There we are. If you look at this thing from the top, some of the stuff that you don't like, you can always hide. For example, you can hide the restraint. You can hide the element size and stuff like that. That's gone. You can hide the load. There we are. And if you want this thing to go, a bit faster, so you can change. Well, this is good enough, all right? Now, if you want to plot the color animation, you go, for example, displacement. You can do one mesostress or displacement. Let's see. Let me do one mesostress, which is over there. Okay, and I don't want to see these elements because right now the elements are showing too. So what I can do is you go here under the rendering, the very last one. It's unchecked. Okay. And now you can animate it. And you can change the speed, by the way, by changing the duration if you want. Let me make this thing 1 and wait. Good. So I hope I have answered Mohammed's question, but I don't know why we need to do something like that. But I mean, obviously, if you're interested in designing that piece, that's okay. But for animation purposes, I'm not sure what the motivation was. All right, folks, good luck.